I'm going to show you how to make a really quick little Christmas craft today. This is made out of wood and vinyl, and it says, "Every family needs a stable foundation." I thought it was super cute. Go ahead and take a look. The first step is to take your 9x9 piece of MDF board and sand your corners, or the edges, I suppose, and the corners, just to make them a little bit on the smooth side. Then I'm using a perennial blue color. This is an outdoor paint, but you could do just interior. The foam brush is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about the brush strokes as much. And then it's just a matter of painting the ends as well. And then I'll just do one more once over on the top just to make sure that if there's any drips from the edges that they're caught. And now I'll let it dry. I've already designed and cut my vinyl. Now I just have to weed it. And you do that just by pulling off everything that you don't need. And while you're waiting for that paint to dry, it's a really good time to do that. The gold, I did stable and the star in. All right, so that portion is ready now. And be very careful, especially if you have curly cues and whatnot like I do. And then it's just a matter of going back through and grabbing those little bits. And now that portion is all ready to go. With the paint dry, now I'm going to go back through with the sandpaper and distress my edges, as well as a little bit in the center here. You want to make sure you rough up the whole thing at least a little bit, and then get it a little deeper in some spots. For this next bit, there's multiple different ways you can do it, but I'm going to show you my preferred way. Usually I like to pick a line. For this one, it's going to be this point, and I'll nip it here and at the end. And then I'll go ahead and pull it off just on that portion. Essentially, I want to have half of that line's worth of vinyl still attached so that it's a little bit easier for placement. The big thing is just not to have a huge area exposed at the same time because it can be really hard to control it. Okay, so then I'll get my next line ready and I'll cut it halfway through each of these letters. I feel like this is the most important part because if the letters are off and out of alignment, then it looks really weird. All right, so now I'll line it up on the bottom again to make sure I'm in the right spot. And then press it on. And then I'll turn it back. And you kind of just try to roll them off if you can. And then you fix any bit of it that needs to be fixed. And then again, just kind of bring it over, and then you can get it to go down. And you see how that method keeps them nice and straight. And this one, I'll try to make it kind of go down through the people so that they don't get stuck funny when I'm trying to roll it. So then again, I'll figure out where it needs to go based on the bottom portion here. Put my people in, roll the roof up, and then I'll just kind of curl it again. Okay. Yay, and we got the staff and everything, so looks great. Because I want to use the little corners there for my placement, I'll continue to work around them. And I'll just go right down to my lettering for foundation. And then I just kind of fold it over. Keeps it nice in line. And this, because it's so thin, it's really important not to stretch it out. And you just work from where it's already attached to where it's not. Being really gentle with it. The stable portion is a little bit harder to do because it's that cursive script. You just do the very best you can and work it the same way as you did the other stuff. I found if you kind of use your fingernail and press down underneath, it can get under it. There are some tools that you can use for it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm a little more dexterous when I'm just using my hands. The T is probably the hardest thing to deal with for this one. All right. Beautiful. And for the star, we want it to sit right at the edge of the stable, but not on the curlicue. And again, try to get it as straight as you can. The very last step, which I cannot show you, is me spraying this with polyurethane. And since I don't want that to get on my camera, I'll have to show you after it's done.